Yo guys, what's going on? It's Acez here today with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about what happened to H1Z1 Just Survive and H1Z1's BR. In my opinion, H1Z1 was one of the best battle royales of all time, but it quickly came and went, and we're going to be discussing why in today's video. Make sure you're leaving a like, and of course, make sure you're subscribing to the channel. I would love to do more of these video games that kind of died too quick or something happened with them because it's interesting. It makes the game have this kind of interesting mystery aspect about it, and H1Z1 definitely has that, especially when it comes to Just Survive. Recently, we made a video about the day before, and we also had a video come out about a new FPS title that's coming out soon. I highly encourage you to check out both of those videos here on Acez Plays. Let's hop in. So H1Z1 was, at first, a pretty much just open world zombie survival game, MMO, RPG, whatever you like to call it, whatever label you like to give it, but basically it just ran around the map, you build shit, and you survive. That's why it was called H1Z1 Just Survive. Then they kind of stumbled upon this mode where you throw a bunch of people in a lobby, and the last person that survives wins the game, and that person gets a little reward. Maybe it's a loot bag or something that you can put in your Steam inventory, but at that time, it was the first of its kind, at least that was relevant enough to really gain some popularity. And you might know the most infamous and famous clip of Ninja, where he was cussing out that little kid. You know, that was Prime H1Z1. And me, myself, I enjoyed Prime H1Z1. There's nothing like two-tapping someone with an AR-15. It just was the most satisfying sound effects and the satisfying feeling of getting those two taps in the BR mode. And truthfully, it was probably the most fun I've ever had on a BR. Better than Warzone, better than PUBG, better than Fortnite, better than all of them. I've truly reserved a place for H1Z1 in my heart. Even though I think Just Survive was really fun as well, the BR in its prime day was definitely one of a kind. Now, as H1Z1 started to progress, we started to see a little bit more of the competitive players starting to get involved. It was starting to take off on Twitch. Twitch streamers were really getting into it, and of course, that starts to get the attention of the hyper-competitive folk, and I think that was the main downfall of H1Z1, just the competitiveness of other players. I remember way back in like the good old days of H1 when there was leaderboards and all this other stuff, and seeing people getting their high kills for the week and all this stuff, you know, there was definitely more of a competitive aspect coming to H1Z1, and as it continued, they rebranded H1Z1 so Daybreak could go full swing into supporting the BR. And that's where Just Survive kind of loses all support. Just Survive was kind of put in a corner, and I remember the day it happened, actually, because I had two H1Z1 inventories in my Steam account. All of my Just Survive stuff was also in a second account for King of the Kill. And I was really confused on what happened, and I believe there was a massive dump of all items for Just Survive, and then it became to a point where you couldn't even sell the items anymore. But there was a massive dump on the Steam market, and Just Survive pretty much lost all support that day. They closed it down a couple years later, I do believe, but Just Survive right now, I think would do great if another developer, another company, another publisher just picked it up. But that's pretty much the end of Just Survive, the mode where you just survive. But BR had just started. They introduced the new map, new King of the Kill mode. You know, they go super heavy in the ranked play and the competitiveness. And basically just the new game was too buggy. It was completely different, honestly. It didn't feel the same. It wasn't the same nostalgic map. Things just weren't the same. It just didn't feel right. And it just kind of died really quick. I mean, it went downhill quick because the game that we all know and love now as PUBG came out. PUBG picked up the slack that H1Z1 was really lacking on, and H1Z1 just fell apart from that point on. They shouldn't have fucked with the game. They shouldn't have made it hyper-competitive and focused on all this ranked shit. And I think that was the downfall of Daybreak Games and basically their gem. Their holy child just died right in front of them, and there's nothing they could do about it. They went even harder in trying to support it, and I think the game just continued to fall apart. A laggy, buggy mess of a game. And, you know, I tried playing H1Z1, whether that was Just Survive and then the new King of the Kill, and then even when it went to PlayStation for free, I do believe. That was really fun for definitely a couple of months to a year. H1Z1 on PlayStation definitely had a place in my heart for a little bit there because it was pure nostalgia. I believe it was even the original map. They couldn't go wrong, but that one quickly fell apart too. And, you know, just a few years ago, you couldn't even fill up one single lobby on PlayStation. Daybreak Games really just failed to keep up with the game and what the general player base wanted, and they went the hyper competitive route. And you know, we have a lot of titles these days not focusing on competitive at all, and this might be one of the reasons why they saw such a successful game fall apart instantly by trying to do things that they shouldn't have done. Sometimes the old product is still going to be the better product even when a new product comes out. And then, you know, a prime example of that is a game like Skyrim. Skyrim's been out for 11 years, and it's undoubtedly one of the best single-player games still on the market to date, especially for somebody who's never experienced Skyrim. It's one of the best games of all time. So I kind of think H1Z1, if maybe somehow miraculously that someone bought out the IP from Daybreak, if they release Just Survive and do some well-needed love to it, I think maybe, just maybe, it would survive in the environment today. I think players are definitely looking for another zombie survival game in third person that works. And I don't think we have that many of them that will also come with such a large nostalgia to bring back fans instantly. I think it's a match made in heaven. Let me know what you think. This has been my take on what happened to H1Z1, Just Survive, and how it ultimately just died because it went hyper competitive and they split the game off. They stopped supporting Just Survive altogether. They lost that chunk of their fan base and then just didn't execute. They just didn't execute. Now, this video was made for entertainment purposes. Some of the information might not be completely 100% accurate. Please take everything with a grain of salt. Daybreak Games, if you have an issue with this video at all, please let me know. Acez_gaming on Twitter. You'll see the $8 check mark. Other than that, these were all my opinions, and my opinions only. Nothing has been confirmed or denied by any company or representative from H1Z1. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, sponsor, and equipment description below. It's going to be it for me. I'm out.